So it's time to go for the lecture, which will be delivered through Zoom platform. And the presenter is Dr. Melissa Sasi, and the title is "You Think Your Future Ready?" I bet you are not. And let me read out some few words about Dr. Sasi Melissa. Dr. Sasi has a PhD, 2 masters and a bachelor degree. Dr. Sasi is an impact investor and tech executive focused on economic development in emerging economies, startup innovation, digital skills, gender inclusion, and youth enablement. For details, she has given a link. Who are interested? Well, they can think about the link. And it says we want USA, Thailand, India, Taiwan, India, Canada, and other South Asian countries. And now, I think with the short introduction about her, I would like to request Dr. Sasi to make her presentation. Due to time constraint, we have to limit your presentation 10 minutes plus 2 minutes. Then we will have some time for questions, because more presentations.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to try to go through this rather quickly. First off, I want to make sure that you can hear me okay. You can hear me okay in the room?
Yes.
Super. Thank you very much for having me. I am joining you today from Lisbon, Portugal, where I am attending the largest tech conference in the world. I think the last I saw, there are 71,000 people at Web Summit. If you've never had a chance to present or attend Web Summit, I would highly recommend it. For those of us who are technologists, it is absolutely the place to be to learn and explore and network. But I'm not here to talk to you about Web Summit. I'm here to talk to you about the future of work. And I'm going to just share my screen, and hopefully we will have enough time for me to quickly get through the content, because usually this is about 20 minutes, but I'm going to go rather fast. So hopefully, all right. I just want to confirm that everyone can see my screen. Is it coming through okay? All right, super. So you're technical, you're an engineer, you're a computer scientist, you're a data scientist, but are you future ready? And I'm sure a lot of us ask ourselves that all the time. I'm not going to go through my bio, but you can follow me at on Twitter. For those of you who are on Twitter, at Mentor Africa with a K. I share a whole lot of stuff around events and future of work topics. I'm very active in the economic development sphere. I'm very active when it comes to youth engagement, social impact, digital skills. I'm a writer, a speaker. I'm also an investor. I spent a number of years at both IBM and Microsoft. I used to work on Wall Street. So I know a little something about technology entrepreneurship, so the startup ecosystem, as well as digital skills. My dissertation for my PhD focused on the digital inclusion of underserved and underrepresented communities, and then the tie that digital inclusion plays, or it has, when it comes to driving outcomes like economic empowerment, good health and well-being, quality education, many of the UN Sustainable Development Goals. So I'm all about what I call making the impossible possible. I used to be a perfectionist. I'm not anymore, because I realized that when we strive for perfection, we're always let down. I surround myself around people that I consider to be in what I call my Thrive Hive. What is that? It's something that I don't know if I created it or if I borrowed it from someone else. I'm not sure, but it's a group of people who both empower me, enable me, and I do the same for them. So figure out who are your sponsors, who are the people who are infectiously positive, and remind you that you are not an imposter, that you belong in the seat that you're in right now and any other seat that you want to take. All right. So we know that many jobs of the future have not even been imagined yet. We've heard this before. It's nothing new. We're not surprised about it. We're technologists. We get that. We know that the world of artificial intelligence and machine learning and data and analytics and all kinds of cool stuff is going to inspire and bring about new innovation, disruption. It's going to change the world in which we will live in the future. But I think we're still worried. We're still worried about whether we're focused on the right things, studying the right things, doing the right things, no matter how technical or non-technical we are. We still don't know what role we're going to play in the future, even if we've got passion and grit and we really know what we're doing in our field. So how do you make yourself future ready? What are some of the things that you can individually do? And what are some of the things that you can empower others to do? And by the way, I have homework for all of you, whether you are an educator or a student or whatever you are, whoever you are, I have homework for you. All right. So we know that this fourth industrial revolution thing is upon us. For those of you who have ever kind of stumbled upon the word altruism or long-termism or the word superhuman, you hear about people saying that in the future we're going to have this friendly AI where we're going to be off in these little pods in the Milky Way. Okay, fine. Maybe we're not at that point yet, and maybe we'll never get to that point. I don't know about you, but I don't know if that sounds like a pleasurable place for me. But let's not focus there. Let's focus on what we can do in our lifetimes. What can we do right now? What can we do tomorrow? What can we do next week? So I came up with this little thing and I call it Dr. Sassy's trifecta of skills. It's nothing novel. It's nothing spectacular. It's actually quite simple. It's the three things that you need to be prepared for the future of work. Whether you're technical, non-technical, whether you're 20 years old, whether you're 40 years old, whether you're 50 years old, it doesn't matter. These are the three things that you need. You dial these things up and down depending upon where you want to go, what you want to do. So first off, digital skills and readiness. Second off, what I call habitudes, habits and attitudes. It's kind of a fancy way of saying professional development skills, soft skills, whatever you want to call it. I'm not a fan of the word soft skills because we know it's really hard. And I believe calling them soft skills make it sound like it's something easy. And we all know that it's not. We're often not taught these things. Whether you want to be an entrepreneur, whether you want to have your own company, whether you want to be the boss, doesn't matter. We all need to have entrepreneurial thinking. Whether you're an academic, whether you're an educator, whether you're an employee in someone else's company or an intrapreneur, you still need to have entrepreneurial thinking. All right, so let's jump into what these skill sets are. By the way, that's me with the Minister of Employability and Vocational Training in North Africa, in Tunisia, actually. That was taken this summer, where I shared these same principles. I'm in the process of pitching something to the government of Tunisia. We'll see where it goes. Wish me lots of luck. I'm always happy to discuss projects with different folks from around the world. All right. You're probably looking at this list and you're probably wondering, wait a second, where's computer science? Where's data science? Each of these skills make up what I call this 8 these 8 competencies that ladder up into digital skills and readiness. For those of you who are not aware, I was part of creating the first world standard for what it means to be digitally skilled and ready. It's been endorsed by the IEEE Standards Board, where I serve as the chair. This model is based on what was created by the DQ Institute out of Singapore, an amazing woman, Yushun, who has spent her life researching digital skills and readiness. It's all about, what is your identity online? How are you using technology to be productive? How are you being safe and secure? How are you managing your feelings, your emotions, recognizing the emotions of others? How are you collaborating and communicating online? And now, digital literacy. This is where we get to coding, computer science, data science, AI, machine learning, etc. So you may not see it called out here, but this is where it's located. You essentially are dialing these skills up and down depending upon your competencies, what you're interested in. Also, what are your rights online, whether that's your intellectual property rights, your ability to speak out and have a voice. These are things that are probably well understood by many of you in the room. But let's dive into the things that you might not be thinking about, the things that you're not spending time reading about. Maybe you've heard these buzzwords, but what are you doing to make sure that you actually have these skills? This is where the homework is going to come into play. Again, I don't care if you're a student or an educator, you still have homework. Having a solid grounding to be prepared for the future of work requires lifelong learning. I don't care whether you already have your PhD or you have 3 PhDs. We still have to hone in on these skills and continue to read and explore and share our skills forward. These things are constantly changing, and we also have to practice these skills. 1, critical thinking. 2, the ability to use those critical thinking skills to solve problems, using reputable, reliable, scholarly data. Working as a team to collaborate with others, because there's no I in team. We have to adapt to change. We have to be able to persuade others. We need to have a personal brand. If you do not have a social media presence, you might not be alive today. Trust me, people pay attention. What kind of voice do you want to have online? It helps you gain access to opportunities, to advance your career, to advance your research, to give you opportunities to speak at amazing events and skydive into Bangladesh or wherever in the world you might be right now. It helps you tell stories, bring your experience to life, and make people emotionally connected to the problem, to the solution, and making sure that you're the only one to solve that problem with your team. As I mentioned, you've got to have emotional, yes.
For your attention, you have 2 minutes more, please.
All right, awesome, good, I'm getting close. You've got to have self-care and mindfulness, be in the here and now, and practice that. All right, skill set 3, I'm gonna make it quick, entrepreneurial thinking. As I mentioned, this is normally a 20-minute talk. You've got to be innovative, creative, disruptive. You've got to have design thinking and think about your audience, empathize with your audience. You have to know how to prioritize to get things done. You have to accept failure, concentrate on growth. You have to be able to pitch your ideas to others, to make them want to believe and be emotionally connected. You got to motivate yourself because nobody else is going to wake you up in the morning. You need to be resilient, and you have to know how to imposter, meaning recognize when sometimes you feel like a fraud, sometimes you feel like you don't belong, and sometimes you feel like an imposter, but you still wake up, you still show up, and you still get on with your everyday. So I've got homework for all of you. Feel free to take a picture of this. I want you to pick one of those skills per month or per quarter, either the habitudes or the entrepreneurial thinking. I want you to pick out 10 pieces of content. It could be a podcast, it could be a video, it could be a blog, 10 of them. I want you to create your own piece based on what you learned, a video, an infographic, whatever the heck you want to do. Don't forget to reference where you learned. that stuff from. You might even find some content from me online. I want you to share it in social media. You can tag me, you can tag others, but I want you to share your skills forward. It's going to enforce your learning. It's going to enable you to share your skills forward and also build your personal brand. So again, I tried to get through this fast. I hope I did it fast enough. Again, my name is Dr. Melissa Sassy. I'm the CEO and co-founder of Skills Hustle. You can find me on Twitter at Mentor Africa with a K. Thank you.
Thank you so much for your excellent. I think I can allow only one question. We are really running short of time.
20 minutes talk, she was cut down to 10 minutes.
Yeah.
Anyway, one question. Sorry. Any question to her?
Everybody's shy today.
Okay, I think your presentation was so good, everyone understood. So there is nothing unclear to tell. Thank you again. Thank you very much.
To help others, I can ask you one question.
Please.
Yeah.
All right, good. You're going to make me shy with that one question.
Yeah. Melissa, can you hear me, right?
Yes, I can hear you. Thank you.
Anyway, here, this is the Engineering Institute of Bangladesh, and there are policymakers and engineering leaders and famous professors and vice chancellors, and the students are present here. So majority of them are from academia. However, we are always talking about industry academia collaboration. For a fast growing country like Bangladesh, where it is really important to launch a lot of entrepreneurs. Since you are in US and you are traveling all over the world, it's very difficult for you to realize that what is the shortage of the training materials here. Can you guide us some outcomes or some sources which can be shared with the conference participants here, where they can join online and self-train themselves and know some of your skills so that they can be virtual trainer and virtual entrepreneur? That type of training is really missing. So what is your point about it? How can you help us? Thank you.
Yeah, I would say I'll give you an easy answer and I'll give you a not so easy answer. All right, the easy answer is connect with me on social media. That would be the first thing. I share a lot. I have a lot of free events and activities that I attend and I speak at. What I'd also like to do is there is an interesting platform that I think would be very beneficial for everyone to check out on the entrepreneurship front. I'm going to quickly see if I can grab a link after I answer. I'm going to add it to the chat window, and then perhaps, it's possible to get this out to participants. It's a platform that was created by Village Capital, the largest social impact accelerator in the world. And it's all about investment readiness. And it's like the 8 or 9 things that a company, a founder, anyone starting a new initiative, anyone creating a new startup, a new entrepreneurial endeavor, what are the 8 kind of things that they need to have to gain access to investment capital? It looks at your team. It looks at, and it's like a free little assessment that you can go through. And what you can do is you can pick, it's even an assignment that you could give out in the classroom. It's even something you can use for your own entrepreneurial endeavors, your own company, your own startup. It shows you how far along you are in terms of being able to really have a strategic conversation with an investor that would make them want to say something like, shut up and take my money. Okay. I'll get a link to that. It's super helpful. There also is a tool within this platform that enables you to do milestone planning. So let's say, for example, you've got one founder, and let's say that founder is deeply technical. But let's say that founder is not, you know, a CFO, a chief financial officer. Let's say that founder just is really not well versed in financial statements, or maybe is not even a marketer. It helps you evaluate your team, your ability to scale, your product, your solution, all of these kinds of things in a trajectory to enable you to gain access to capital.
Yeah, Dr.
Okay.
Stasi, we are very much, I got the idea, and if you give your consent, we will share your recording to others and
Yes,
later
that's fine.
you can guide me the link so that I can send it to the participants.
Yep. And I got one more thing, and I'll make it super fast. The next thing is invite me. Invite me to come over physically. Let's do a workshop. I spend a lot of my time all over the world. I would absolutely be honored to come to your country. I've never visited before. I'll be in South Korea in the next few days, so kind of close enough yet far enough, but invite me. I'd love to come.
We have 16 crore people and they will be eagerly waiting to listen to you. Thank you.
Thank you
Okay,
very much for having me.
okay, thank you so much. Thank you.